Oh, mute yourself. Hello? Oh, we're live? Live. Dun, dun, dun. Got it. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. I'm going to get started in just a moment. If you're watching on YouTube, you can join in by going to the link that I will post in the comments in a second. All right, thanks for joining, everybody. Dante here with you. I'm going to channel the Pleiadian Council today, and I will continue to offer this on a monthly basis. You can hop on to the email list to get the updates as to the exact time and day when it will be. It changes every month with my changing schedule, so the email list is the best way to get notified. And thank you for joining and sharing your questions. And yeah, this offering is a space for people to be able to interact with the Pleiadian Council. And my ask is that people make sure that everybody who's in this space has a chance to get their question in. So we limit questions mostly to 5 or so minutes, and then make space for the next person. Questions that are typed out are to be read aloud at points during the transmission, though we do prioritize questions that are asked aloud, because when you come live and connect with the Pleiadian Council in a more direct way, you're able to get much more clarity. Sometimes they have to ask you some questions that help you orient yourself and really understand what you're actually asking about and dive deeper. So you're going to get most out of this when you come live. But all questions are welcome with whatever you're comfortable about, which in whatever way you are comfortable doing it. I'm available for private sessions as well, and you can find all the information on dantestarshine.com. Donations are gratefully appreciated for these monthly live streams, as it takes quite a bit of energy to prepare and create this space. So I really thank you for your support. And you can find the information on the contact/book a session tab on dantestarshine.com, and I'll post the links in the Zoom chat at the end. I don't know if I'm forgetting anything else, so I don't think I am. Get started. Hello, and we say good day to you at this moment of your time. We are the Pleiadian Council, and we speak on behalf of the Galactic Alliance, supporting the world in this process of ascension and evolution. We thank you for allowing these transmissions to take place, for it opens a bridge between our realities that allows for you and ourselves to grow and expand into deeper connection with Source. And for this, we are deeply appreciative, and we hope that you are as well. Today, we will first share a brief message, and then get to your new questions. Your world is going through an exciting process in these times. There, as we have said, is an increase in the evidence for disclosure, as in more and more people are coming out. The news is putting more attention on this in certain areas. And as more people come to question, is there an intelligence out there beyond our knowing? You are drawing our focus onto you even more. It is a co-creation, it is an exchange of energies. And as your world is now in many ways at a point of breakthrough, you will be finding that this information starts to be revealed in much more exponential ways. And even people you didn't expect to be, quote unquote, waking up are in fact waking up. However, you will find that you contribute most to this acceleration of awakening by directing your energy towards yourself and those who are willing and ready. And some of you may want to make everybody on board with these big shifts that are happening. However, recognize where people are at in their process, and this will help you conserve your energy and make the best use of your time to support those who are truly ready to awaken. By doing this, you are walking the path of least resistance, and you are allowing yourself to continue to accelerate in the raising of your frequency by choosing to go with the flow of those who are also willing to do just that. And this is what is going to support your whole planet in making some big and pivotal shifts in these times to come. Now, another way of seeing disclosure is the disclosure of those things that you might not have been aware of before. And we want to remind you that disclosure itself is an ever ongoing process. So if you are so excited about letting everyone else in on the news, so to speak, make sure that you are engaged with the process of disclosure here and now in the moment. Disclosure means to reveal information that is not yet known to you. And as we have shared with you, we don't know everything, though we come from a multidimensional perspective that allows us to often share with you a higher perspective on the things that matter and are relevant for you. But we are still learning beings. We are still engaged with an ever unfolding process of learning more about Source and all that is. And therefore, you are also beings on this process. And to be fully engaged with the idea of disclosure is to always be aware of what remains unknown for you in the present moment. And this allows you to have that attitude of the beginner's mind, which is the healthiest approach to life, to be ever present and ever aware in the world around you, and doing things in a way where you are so mindful of the details and allow yourself to act as if you are approaching what you are doing for the very first time. Because with this focus and nuance, you are able to see details that were before not as clear for you. And you will notice that in these little details and nuances is the information that really needs to be disclosed to you. So we have also shared with the channel that we want to speak on hearts, belief clusters, and archetypes. We have spoken with you very much about the idea of belief systems. Belief systems create your experience of reality. The thoughts and ideas that you hold to be true become the lenses through which you perceive the world around you, until you take a higher perspective and are able to notice that the beliefs are there influencing what you are perceiving. You will be caught by them and allow their perceptions to distort the clear view of reality that is possible. Now, all of you have many, many belief systems. And so we want to introduce this idea of belief clusters, also known as parts. And these are essentially subpersonalities. Your belief systems create different subpersonalities. For example, when you go to work every day, you have certain beliefs and attitudes about work and about your particular work environment that you essentially begin to channel as you step into that space. When you engage in relationships, you have beliefs about connection, love, and intimacy that create many different subpersonalities that get activated in that space. These belief systems are literally connected to neural networks in your brain. And when you are operating under the trance of belief systems, those specific parts of your brain that connect with them become most active, and essentially these beliefs work through you, create the sense as if they are you, until you come to recognize that these different beliefs and the parts and the roles you play in the world are not your essential higher self, yet are stories and ideas that you've learned about yourself or that you've told yourself you are. And need to be approached in a very different way. Change and transformation is difficult when you are unaware of these beliefs. You cannot change and release what you are not yet aware of as optional. So, in order to explore this in a deeper way, on a personal journey, you will have to accept and integrate the understanding that your experience of reality is created by such beliefs. It is possible to use a sort of therapy and the support of another person who has this understanding to transform without knowing this fundamental thing about reality. Though it is impossible to change your own life in a deep and meaningful way without fully understanding the power of your beliefs. So, oftentimes, negative beliefs can be so deeply ingrained that many other stories and beliefs start to overcompensate for them. And they act like barriers, walls, and protectors to keep the deep and fear-based negative beliefs from being exposed, from being seen by other people, from being, in a sense, touched. These protective layers will often push away other people, or will push away the experience one seeks, in order to essentially move through into a state of integration and wholeness. All of these different beliefs have to be gradually understood. And we've spoken very much about this process of deconstructing them, and that this compassion and self-love is the first step in the process. The way to deconstruct isn't an aggressive, forceful sort of destruction. Most of you think of destruction in this way, though we want to invite you to understand deconstruction as one of the greatest acts of compassion. Because essentially your world is in the phase of deconstruction. You are deconstructing the toxic systems that you've created in your world that cause you to live with pollution and stress and disconnection from each other. And you are also deconstructing the beliefs and stories that made such a world possible. So we want you to understand that this energy is destructive, but it is positive, so that you change your way of relating to a destructive sort of energy and come to understand that sometimes to destroy is the most compassionate thing that you can do. Now, when we say that you are destroying the negative beliefs, we want you to also understand that the container of those beliefs, as in those neural networks, cannot fully go away. So what you're really destroying is your attachment to the negative perspective, yet understanding that a sort of sub-personality within you has been created in the process of holding such a negative belief. And now that sub-personality must be retasked to do a very different job. That is why you bring in a positive belief, a positive attitude. And often that same positive belief and attitude that you are working to integrate is of the same essence, of the same intention that the negative belief that you're working to overcome had in the first place. So by getting very close to these parts of yourself and treating them with love and tenderness and not strengthening parts of yourself that are in resistance to the process of transformation, you will move through it more slowly, yet with grace, ease, and joy. Remember that this is not a process that you must rush. It is a process that you are all going through in your own way, at your own pace. And by getting comfortable with the parts of yourself that you don't fully know, and comfortable with the idea that things that you thought were you are not actually you, you simultaneously will open yourself to the unknown that exists seemingly outside of you as well. It is finding this comfort with the unknown within yourself that will allow you as a species to become much more comfortable with the unknown outside of you. So humanity as a whole has to deconstruct many of their belief systems to fully let in the presence of extraterrestrial life and all of the beings that will support you in the process of creating a new sort of planet for yourselves. You have to deconstruct the stories of fear that you've been taught and deconstruct all of the notions that someone or some beings different from you are fundamentally opposed to you. You have to open yourself to finding ease and trust in the midst of uncertainty and confusion, and enjoy the process of opening your heart to trust. As you cultivate this energy of trust, it will ripple out both to all of those inner belief systems that might be resisting and fighting and attempting to keep themselves afloat. And it is also having that trust that will support you in the greater process of letting so many others in your world know that it is safe to let in the energy, the love, and the connection with all of the beings outside of you that aren't so similar to you, but are made of the same essential energy. For all is one in this magnificent universe. So we thank you for allowing us to share this message with you at this time, and we ask now, in which ways can we be of support to you with your questions and sharings and musings and anything else you would like to bring to us today?
Hello, Council.
Hello, welcome.
I thank you for this transmission. It's quite exciting to be back with you guys. With you entities.
Yes.
I have it's quite exciting. I have a question about dreams. Something that's been happening recently was I've had certain dreams where there were key symbolisms, and what ended up happening was having encounters with these specific symbolism, like a person in a red coat, a black tape, even specific topics coming up on the physical level. And I was wondering, what's your take on that?
What does the black raincoat mean to you?
Well, what was funny is, like, I encountered similar individuals with the yellow raincoats, or let's say 1 or 2 days afterward, right after.
And you've already experienced this with your art, that you are tapping into an energy that then presents itself to you in physical reality. So it is a sort of precognitive function that you are tapping into. You are able to connect with that which is coming to you in the future through your own subconscious. And as you work with this more, it also has the power to not just predict what's coming, but to create the outcomes you're seeking. So in order to do it that way, you have to become lucid in your dream, receive these images and receive these dreams, though also recognize your own creative control. Redirect the dream and redirect the creative inspiration in the ways that would benefit you more, that you would be more excited to experience. Lucid in your dream. What was that?
Oh, that was an echo from a microphone.
All right. Are you there? We're not sure what happened. All right, somebody else?
Hello, Pleiadian Council.
Hello, welcome, yes.
I would like to ask about Bashar's announcement of a major contact event that should occur in a couple years. Can you share some more details about it?
No.
Okay.
That was that announcement. If the channel wanted to say more, they would have said more.
Mm-hmm.
So don't assume that we understand everything else and other being channels. It's not that interconnected in that way. It is all interconnected, but we are not speaking on behalf of other channelers or other channeled beings. We are not aware of everything else, everyone else channels out there all the time. Because some of you think that that's true. We're letting you know that that isn't true.
Okay, and how we can prepare for it?
By being excited, by being clear, by deconstructing your own fears of extraterrestrial life and extraterrestrial contact. And as we've said, this is about deconstructing your own fears of what you don't know, because this fear of the unknown can play out in many different ways. It has played out in your world as racism, sexism, homophobia, the fear of the others, the fear of those who are not as capable, are disabled or mentally incapable in some ways. It is the fear of difference. It is the fear of dissimilarity. And many of you still hold on to these fears. You still live in a world where you think it is us versus them. It is us who are on this spiritual path or are interested in the deeper truth of reality, and those who are not. And while, of course, they are of a different vibration, what you need to remember is even those beings that don't agree with you or are dissimilar to you are part of the same all that is. They are part of the same one. They are part of the same source. And when you deconstruct your fears about the other beings that are already on your planet, you will also open yourself up to feeling akin to and close to and connection with beings who are not of your world. And this is what so many of you need to recognize, is that in order to open your world to visitors from another world, you have to already have a sense of love and community and connection on your own planet, which so many of you are in resistance to. And so it is creating that is going to help your planet become part of the multidimensional culture, so to speak.
And I understand that to deconstruct these fears, I need to get in contact with these fears, and I wonder how I can do that.
Are there people that trigger a sense of otherness for you? You don't have to mention them. We're asking you yes or no. And that otherness feels fearful. Yes or no? Are there people like that you can think of right now?
Yes, sure.
So we want you to do a practice of meditation and visualize that they're seated right in front of you, and your eyes are focused on their eyes, and you feel a connection of energy from your heart to their heart. And as you do this, remember, we are one. We are of the same source. Practice this as a meditation and say whatever phrases for you help you personally to connect with that sense of oneness. Visualize this with all the different sorts of people you don't feel comfortable or connected with. We would also suggest as a permission slip to do the Buddhist practice of loving kindness meditation, because this is directly affecting your heart and the parts of your brain connected with empathy, compassion, connection. And as you, as a species, are more oriented towards being compassionate, it will change your world, and it will allow for us to come into contact with you in greater ways as well. So this is the meditation as a permission slip, yes. But then the other half of the work is the practice of actually engaging with these people who you might feel afraid of, and actually offering those practices of love and kindness, and actually recognizing that you can feel connected to somebody and you don't have to agree, that you can feel that as if you are part of the same God or source as another being, even if they are so different from you.
And can this fear can be also raised by wild animals?
The fear?
Yes. I'm just curious because
Can
lately,
wild animals have this level of fear?
no, can wild animals especially trigger this kind of fear inside of me? Because I usually have this fear when I'm meeting with wild animals.
Well, they're supposed to, depending on the animal. If you see a tiger in nature, it's natural that you feel fear. That fear is what brings you to respond. And that isn't to say that you need to act out of that fear. Actually, you need to be more connected with yourself and learn how to deal with that fear. Because in the case that you would meet a tiger in the woods, what you would have to do is make your body big and tall, act as if you were calm, make eye contact. But yes, it's actually more natural and rational that a wild, especially dangerous animal would arouse that sort of fear. Now, if it is a dog that arises that fear in you, that is not essentially natural. It is what is natural, but it is learned, meaning that it comes from a trauma. Because dogs in general are not out to hurt you. You might have been hurt by a dog in the past, and that has left an imprint, which is now a belief system and a trauma response that needs to be resolved. It's not the same as being afraid of a bear or a tiger or an elk or whatever it is.
A couple of weeks ago, I was swimming in the sea, and I just imagined how it would feel to meet with a dolphin, wild dolphin. And suddenly a lot of fear came to me. So this may be the situation to process the fear, right?
What would you be afraid of about a dolphin?
Just unknown. How does the dolphin may behave, and of course some unconscious doubts how if it won't be dangerous. That's why.
All right.
So
But you know that many people swim with dolphins.
yes, I know, but that's why I was surprised that a lot of fear just popped up in my feelings, and I
So that
take it as
you that there is still a certain level of unresolved fear and negative beliefs about others and otherness in general that needs to be looked at.
yes, that's how I handle it. And also, I sometimes I'm kind of nervous, and I have a difficult time to find the source of it. So as you have speaked that there may be some protector's beliefs that are protecting me, how do I get deeper into this hidden belief? Do I need to ask some permission of these protectors to go deeper? Or is there any other method I can use to find out the source of these hidden things?
Oftentimes, this sense of nervousness is there because the protector is hiding deeper emotional pain. So this nervous protector was helpful in allowing you to make certain connections and move through social situations. In the sense, this nervous protector is still helpful in doing so, but the nervous protector doesn't need to be there all the time, because sometimes it is safe to actually feel that hidden, buried emotional pain and the deeper beliefs that are underneath the surface of that nervous protector. In order to get deeper, you have to be comfortable going to deeper and perhaps potentially more frightening and intense emotions that are still trapped in your body, in your mind. And by allowing yourself to sink into them and simply be with them, the process of release happens when you can witness them without suppressing them and without reacting to them. It is a gradual process that takes place over time. The more that you are able to witness and feel and experience those emotions and let those beliefs tell their stories while witnessing them, the quicker it will be to release. Though, again, remember this is a slow process that takes place over time. You can live an accelerated life while gradually deconstructing, bit by bit, all of these protectors.
So it makes sense to ask the protector to give me access or just show me more of it?
You have to let the protector know that it's safe to feel that amount of pain that they're hiding.
Okay, so
and
if
the protector wants to stop the process at any time, they can step back in. So it's like you're asking the protector to take a break for a period of time so that you can see what's beneath the surface and feel how comfortable and how capable you are of holding yourself in that process. And then if it gets overwhelming, you can let the protector know that it can keep doing the job that it has wanted to do. But having given yourself then the experience of the space from that protective role, again, gradually, you will be able to release more and more of these layers of protection and release the emotional pain that they are concealing.
And also I need to have the tools and the arguments by my hand to be ready to deal with these emotions, right? So be ready for it, actually.
Yes. Be allowing,
okay.
Be compassionate. Again, remember that you are source. Source is love. You are love. So have love for all of the beliefs and all of the parts that you find. When you are able to bring the energy of source's unconditional love into the pain resolves.
Because in a situation when I feel intense emotions, my brain shuts down, or it's not so easy to remind myself that I can handle these emotions and so on. So I believe this takes some training to be aware of it and consciously dissolve these emotions and work with it.
Yes.
Right.
Is it training? It's experience. You can call it training in a way, yes. You can go through a formal sort of training, if you will. Though it's the experience of allowing the emotions to be present and recognizing that it's safe and that nothing has gone wrong because they've happened. So the protectors are uncomfortable with emotion and they will distract you from emotion and cause you to suppress emotion or do things that cause you to numb to the emotion because they believe that the emotion will destroy you or cause some horrible level of destruction in your life. But when you can recognize that that is not true and that it is safe and it is actually healthier and more healing and wholesome for you to feel the emotions regardless of how intense they are, the protectors will stop fighting.
And is it possible that the protector is hiding the emotions completely? So
It is.
so then it becomes more difficult to search for hidden emotions.
Yes, but you can still work with, for example, the feeling of nervousness that the protector has. If you can't get to the deeper emotions, then focus on the emotions that you can feel. It might feel like nervousness, it might feel like tension. You want to feel it both as the emotion that you would describe with a word, but also somatically, how does that energy present in your body? Is your nervousness a tension in your chest, or is it a tension in your stomach, or is it a flushing of your face, for example? Or is it a bit of all of them? And as you bring awareness to the specifics of that sensation, watch how the sensation moves and watch how it's connected to other parts of your body and other emotions.
Yes, what I'm aiming for is that these protectors' actions can be felt or manifested on the body as an illness or sickness, and not mentally can be manifested, right? So
everything is mental and everything is physical.
Okay, so I'm just
we would say that it's all interconnected. You can't have a problem on one level without it affecting all of the other levels.
So even protector is doing as hard as it can. There is still something that is leaking through that is saying that here is something to deal with.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, thanks to you as well.
Hello, can I say hello to you guys?
Hello, we say hello with you as well.
Hi, nice to be talking to you. I don't have any questions. Just wanted to say my life is good. I'm feeling very happy. I'm back in Italy, and I think life is good, and I'm feeling very happy because of all the advice that is channeled through you. So I don't know anything specific except to say that, and thank you.
Oh, thanks to you very much. We would love to hear about what was involved in bringing you to that.
I think it's still, you know, from the change that happened a year and a half ago in Mexico. It's very stable now. I feel pretty much a constant connection in my heart. And if I don't, I just imagine it until I feel it. And
so you
I'm
would say
very
that
serene.
Has come from following your excitement and connecting with how that feels?
I think so. I mean, I'm just very calm.
Yes.
Yes. It's small things, you know. I mean, I'm at a phase in my life where I get excited about, like, let's get this and put it in the house, and little things, you know, little things that, you know, I'm still traveling, and then I think, oh, let's do that. Let's have that. You know, like I just cooked a really nice meal. And yeah, I mean, there's not many other people involved. I still have my family from time to time, but I live very much on my own. So I just, like I say, you know, I just cook a meal, or I think, oh, I'm going to change the house in that way and do that. There's small things, and I get a lot of pleasure from it.
So that's a great example that little things is still a way of following your excitement, and that can be something that is deeply fulfilling. When you stop overcomplicating life and recognize that feeling of excitement is enough to derive satisfaction and fulfillment, everything simplifies.
It's a big change. It's a big change from how it was before. It really is. As you've said to me in a private consultation, I'm in Italy, and there's not many people here on the kind of wavelength that I want to connect to. So I'm just floating and appreciating people for how they are, and not expecting too much socially. I'm not complaining about that. I'm in Italy. I love being in Italy, but I'm not expecting the people to be at a spiritual level. So that's okay.
We would say that all of it, everything, will be totally and wonderfully happy if you accept others totally as they are and have no unspoken expectations of them. This is another kind of formula, the formula for healthy relationships and healthy heart. And this is a wonderful expression of what we said in the very beginning, that sometimes in this pursuit of disclosure, you humans get very fixated upon converting specific people. You've been given so many examples of that with all of your missionaries and crusades and all sorts of wonderful things that have happened in your history. So you're learning now that those who are willing to change and to experience excitement will be drawn towards you. And this energy of excitement is for you. And it will magnetize the people who are relevant to you. You don't have to seek them out. You simply have to keep cultivating the energy. And you will be even more at peace and even more in radiance, yes.
Yes, I feel very confident that it's all flowing, and I love being in Italy. I'm just enjoying it, and I appreciate just the level that people are on, and I find it very easy to be nice to people. I find it very easy.
Oh, and that's very rewarding for you as well.
Yeah, it's a big change. I used to get upset about a lot of things, and yeah, I say thank you to you guys. It's helped a lot. The advice is very clear and it works. So thank you so much.
Oh, we thank you very much for sharing that, for being a living example of what it means to find balance through living multidimensionally and in connection with your higher self.
Yes, thank you so much.
Oh,
Ciao for now. Bye-bye.
Ciao. Yes.
Hi, Pleiadian Council.
Hello.
Do my spirit guides have a message for me?
Do you have a question for them?
How would they see how I'm doing in the spirit?
Doing in what?
How do they see how I am doing in this spirit?
In the spirit.
Yes, if they have a suggestion or something like that.
Your guides are connected with you. You may receive some messages from them already. They are supporting you and they are encouraging you to open your eyes a bit more, to pay more close attention to the subtleties, because you are seeking them out, but you are not seeing that they are already reaching out to you. Subtle things like messages that you receive during your meditations, or images or symbols that you think of, are actually insight and information from your guides. So you need to get more attuned to your psychic senses so that you can pay attention to the information that is being revealed to you all the time.
Mm-hmm. And another question. My brother has recently passed away, like a month or so. And I'm curious, while he was living, what connections did he have? I feel that he was connected to Pleiadians partly, and Orion.
Yes.
So maybe if it's possible to read this.
He was very connected with both of these star systems. That's correct.
Mm-hmm. So mainly these ones.
Mainly.
Yes. And some messages from him. What is he doing up there in the spirit?
He's reunited with Source. He's reunited with his higher self. He's experiencing life as a soul on the other side, which is more immersed in unconditional love and multidimensionality, able to view many realities and experience many things. Yes.
All right. I think that's it for now. So thank you very much, Pleiadian Council. Thank you.
Hello, Pleiadian Council.
Hello, welcome. Yes.
Thank you. And thank you for this transmission. I recently asked about, got a guidance from you about pursuing Qigong. And since then, I've been researching a little bit, and there's many different types of Qigong. And I think it would be beneficial for me to just get started. However, do you have any recommendations of a specific type or style of practice?
All of them.
All of them. Okay.
All of them. And then as you get to experience different ones in your body, go with which one feels the best for you. Remember what we said, that this process is about learning how to feel into what gives you pleasure. And this practice is much more oriented towards the movements that bring you pleasure are the movements that are more healing, versus oftentimes in yoga, you are finding comfort in the discomfort. Here you are learning how to expand your energy body by experiencing healing pleasure. So these movements ought to be liberating where there is stiffness, where there is tension, in a way that is more gentle for you. That is the idea. Yes. And so you want to have a wide range of experiences, and then work with the ones that you feel personally resound most in your body.
Yes, thank you. That makes a lot of sense. I've recently started exercising in the ocean, and I'm really enjoying that for the very reasons that you spoke about. It feels good. It feels healing. It's thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. My love to you.
Oh, well, thanks, and love to you as well.
Hi, Pleiadians.
Hello, welcome.
Hi, I really love what you've shared so far, and I would love your advice or insights on the potential power of, or any how-tos on how we as artists potentially can help support this, what you call destruction of negative beliefs, or support positive ones. I'm a songwriter myself, but I would love your feedback on all types of different arts, how we can support what you talked about.
Art is one of the greatest examples of how the personal becomes relevant for the collective. So it would be best for artists to focus on their own personal experiences and their own personal emotional growth, and allow their art to be an expression of that. As art expresses the growth and the transformation that one does in themselves, and makes it something enjoyable and reflective for others to see, like a mirror into their own souls. You make that mirror for others as clear as it can be by allowing yourself to be fully you in the art that you are creating.
Yeah, beautiful. I also find it interesting, and I'm passionate myself from time to time to experimenting by tapping into what others might experience or feel, and sort of see how that can resonate with others. Is that also valuable? Tapping into, others outside of what you mentioned about, on the personal level?
Yes, and the best way to do this is by, again, channeling the art from your own process. And then as you share it with others, that's when you want to be aware of their response, because their response and your awareness of how they respond emotionally is going to inform you in your own ways of how to dial in your own creative process. So we want you to be aware of art as that sort of two-way street of communication, that the artist creates, the audience receives, and by attuning to the response and allowing that information to process and circulate in your system, it will refine your own creative process so that you can create again, express, and receive the feedback from the audience again. So in this way, it is a two-way street of communication. Though the bulk of that creative process will come from within you, you will receive much relevant information that will help you express yourself in ways that you can be heard and seen more clearly by attuning to the response.
Okay, beautiful. I've never heard it expressed like that before. That's pretty amazing. So the final question I'm curious is about, I've seen some artists who have created some magnificent art, but they haven't been very congruent with it in their personal lives. So I'm curious what your read is on, what's the potential of influencing others in a positive way as an artist with the art that you're creating versus the personality that you're demonstrating as an artist as well, if that makes sense.
Artists are, in a sense, channels. So they're tapping into this energy that comes from their own higher self, and it can manifest as something beautiful and brilliant and astounding. Though the person themselves may still have many of their own belief systems and parts that get in the way. And when they step out of that channeling state, their beliefs might send them spiraling in directions that don't really reflect what came through in that state of channeling and connection with their higher self.
Okay, yeah, is that the same that can sometimes happen with channelers in general?
Yes, it can happen with anyone, because you have this higher self that is a source of creativity, inspiration, and insight. And so much of what you do that supports the world and supports others and brings connectivity comes from your higher self. Yet you will find yourself often falling out of that connection when you are ensnared by the tempting whispers of your own negative belief systems that cause you to act as if you are separate from your higher self. So it's noticing those belief systems and remaining aware of them in all times that will allow you to be more consistently focused on your higher self and in that flow of energy. Though you have to also have that attitude of forgiveness like your higher self. Remember that many of you will create a false self belief system that acts as if it is your higher self and holds all of your other belief systems accountable, but from a place of judgment and a lack of compassion. And so you have to be able to distinguish that false self negative belief system from your actual higher self, because the false self negative belief will cause much more damage. The higher self in its presence will always create a sense of love, connection, and openness. And if you don't have that attitude towards yourself and your own negative beliefs, you're not acting from higher self.
So beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah, just very last thing, any suggestions on permission slips in terms of how we can in a more easy way access that true higher self?
Through meditation? Or is that what you asked?
Yeah, for example.
Well, we've shared meditations that help you to connect with the energy of light, as in that light from the galactic center that pours down through a crystal chamber that surrounds your body and enters your crown, and that light emanates from your body. Another quality of higher self is love. So by reflecting on the moments that you felt the most unconditional love and the people that you love the most and the things that you do in your life that brings you to feel the most unconditional love and tapping into that energy and meditating on how that energy feels in your body, that will bring you into connection with your higher self more. You can also focus on the quality of the higher self that is awareness and bring a more present and non-judging awareness to yourself, being aware of everything you're feeling and experiencing, being aware of all of the sensations and thoughts that move through you in a non-judging way. This is also very much in alignment with the energy of your higher self.
Okay, thank you so much. This was absolutely brilliant.
Oh, thanks to you as well. Any other questions at this time?
Hello, Pleiadian Council.
Yes.
First and foremost, thank you so much for your time and consideration in my question.
Oh,
and
thanks to you.
thank you to Dante for being the channel through which you come through.
Oh, yes.
I have been having an experience in my sleep cycle, and I'm just trying to make sense of it. If it's something that I'm manifesting with like a belief system, or if it's actually an event that's actually happening to me.
Yes.
I randomly but consistently get these events where I feel like I'm being visited by a interdimensional being, and it feels as if some type of process is happening either while I'm receiving some type of Reiki or I'm uploading some type of information. And I was just wondering if that's accurate or if it's something that I'm thinking is happening but isn't really happening. It's just some process of the sleep cycle.
It is happening. And it is a partnership with a specific guide that is working with you for the purposes of healing and clearing your emotional body and tuning you to higher frequency energies. It's connected with work that you are doing in terms of energy healing and frequency adjustments. And this guide will come to support you as you go deeper in this work. They will come to meet you outside of dream time when you're ready. This is part of that process. So when you really choose, you can come to meet them in guided meditations, and they will be always just around the corner when you need them as you deepen in this connection.
Oh.
And yes, you are also, in a sense, uploading information to them that helps them refine how they connect with you.
So it's a personal experience with a guide and not so much like a sharing with like a galactic collective in a sense.
The guide may be galactic, but it's
Okay.
still a personal guide.
I've had a strong connection to the Andromedans and Pleiadians. Would that be accurate to say I've had previous past lives?
Yes. Past, maybe not, but there is a connection.
How do I utilize this connection in my present life? I've been having a really hard time with this linear reality and kind of wanting to be somewhere else, and then feeling guilty about wanting to be somewhere else because I know I'm supposed to be here, and just kind of going through a process of struggle. Is there any advice that they can give me?
Your connection with them is a way of allowing you to be here and somewhere else at the same time. So have compassion for the desire to not be here, because that general energy and attitude can be transformed to have a positive purpose. When your beliefs align in such a way that you know and trust in your multidimensional connections, you will, in a sense, be able to be here and also elsewhere at the same time. So that longing to disappear from here will be not as present when you know that you can, with your own focus, shift your energy to be in a higher vibration, in a higher dimension, connected, even astrally projecting yourself into these higher vibrational planes of existence so that you can take that energy from that plane and bring it back here. So you need to not invalidate your feelings of not wanting to be here and practice that universal acceptance and compassion for yourself. That feeling is there so that you will develop your psychic gifts to the point that you can be here and also there at the same time.
Oh, thank you. Am I doing everything that I need to do to access these psychic gifts?
Well, we don't
really-
know.
Oh, okay. Do you have any advice on small steps that I could take on a daily basis to get to those psychic gifts?
Remember, the basis is following the formula, that feeling of excitement is your overall intuition, that this feeling of excitement is your higher self guiding you to the things that are appropriate and relevant for you, and that your inclination towards things is often an intuitive hunch in the first place. In the process of sorting, you will be presented with opportunities to use your psychic gifts to get more information about other people and other places and the subtle energies involved in the connections that you're making. Now, in order to do this in the smoothest way, having some sort of daily ritual and practice will be very helpful. It can be a meditation, and ideally you would do something that is both a meditation for your mind and heart, and also a bit of movement for your physical body in ways that feels exciting for you. And doing this every day as a ritual will be very supportive in the process. And remember as well that this path of acting on your excitement means that you don't do things that are not exciting for you unless they are absolutely necessary for your survival. So just as important as doing things that are exciting for you, it's extricating yourself from the things that you do that are not exciting for you and you don't actually have to do.
Okay, because I struggle with the idea of, now that I'm here on Earth, that I have to follow, the cycle of what everybody does, even though I want to do everything the opposite. Like, my interests are so opposite of the norm, and then I get hard on myself because I'm like, no, you need to do things to survive, not just follow your excitement.
You need to do things like what?
Like, have a job that is, I guess, quote unquote, normal. Like I eventually I would love to be able to use my psychic gifts as a profession, but I'm not there yet. But then I'm hard on myself because it's like, well, you have to do something maybe that you don't like in order to get to the things that you do like. And I don't know if that's just a belief system that I have, or if it's something that's truth.
It's not the truth. It may be a true situation for some people. It might be that in order to get to the profession that is the most exciting for them, some people will have to do jobs that they don't really like doing for periods of time. Though when you orient all of your other experience around what's exciting for you, most of you will find that there's a shorter path than you think to doing things that are exciting for you and getting paid for it. So if you don't feel as if you're ready to do intuitive healing work or something of that nature, we would encourage you to look at other things that you might be excited about doing that could bring in some money too. But we also want you to question why you think you are not ready, because everybody starts somewhere, and certainly there are others who are not as developed as you are on your path that could use somebody who isn't, for example, the most advanced healer in the world, but is actually at a place that is relatable for them. And that can be a way that you can also deepen in your intuitive gifts and see that it isn't actually as hard as you think to share these gifts and to be supported in doing it.
Oh, thank you. This has been so useful and helpful for me. I appreciate you guys so much.
Oh, well, thanks to you as well.
You have a wonderful day.
And you as well. Is there anybody else? All right.
Actually, there are some chat and YouTube questions.
Oh, would you like to read a couple of them? Read only the most exciting ones, according to your preference.
I just start with the first one. Joe is asking, I work out at the gym every day, walk barefoot and take diet supplements. I've also done trauma work with kinds of beliefs or traumas keep on me losing weight. What kind of beliefs, traumas keep me from losing weight? What should I do to lose weight effectively and dramatically?
One moment. We would see that there still might be something in terms of diet that is causing this individual to not lose the weight. So you want to really tune into your diet as well. And for the purpose of losing weight, pay attention to your caloric intake and make sure that it is at a level that you will actually begin to lose weight. And we would encourage you, in order to do this, to take in much more fiber-heavy foods. Things like cabbage, salad, carrots, potatoes, celery, for example. Things with very high fiber content, because this is what will be cleaning out your colon and creating a healthy gut flora so that your body can process and assimilate with greater ease. Also, things like green superfoods, spirulina, chlorella, matcha, wheatgrass, will all be incredibly helpful in this process of losing weight as well. So it is an ongoing process. And we would say that you have to, in addition to doing what you're doing, get used to the feeling of being empty, both literally and metaphorically. Get used to the feeling of your stomach being empty. Get used to spending time being hungry, because you won't really lose the weight until you get comfortable being a little bit hungry and not feeling fully full when you finish eating. And then emotionally, get used to the feeling of being empty. Many of you resist this feeling, but again, all emotions and all beliefs have to be felt through. You can't put something in them or over them and expect them to be resolved. So every time you try to fill your emptiness emotionally, you're delaying the process. You need to learn how to sit with the feeling of emptiness and recognize that there's nothing you actually have to do to get rid of it. You have to actually be present with it, and you might discover that in that emptiness, there are great gifts and wonders for you.
There is a follow-up question from Joe, I have been doing recession works by railing traumatic memories about my past self and inner child. Am I on the right track?
Yes. Yes, this work will be very helpful and will continue to be very helpful.
Okay, and one more question from YouTube. Sean is asking, in my dream, I was Superman in a Superman suit. When a child fell into a tank in an outdoor aquarium and was treated by a big fish, I rescued him like a Marvel hero. Thank you for interpreting this dream.
This is a sort of way that you're tapping into the power of your higher self, your higher self that in many ways can grant you superpowers. And rescuing the child is very much about rescuing your own inner child, rescuing the part of you that is not yet fully matured. So it's pointing you to developing these superpowers of awareness, of resilience, of source connection, so that you can use that to be the hero for yourself.
Another question from Sean. If possible, United States Air Force officer and former intelligence official David Grach confirmed today in his testimony at the US Congress that the US government is in possession of not just alien spacecraft, but also alien life forms. What is the spiritual meaning and future prospect of this event?
As we've said in the beginning, you're in the process of massive disclosure, and more will be revealed. So stay excited. This has been something we have shared with you for a long time, and many others have, but yes, your government already knows so much about us and has so much information. So we can't really say more other than that. Yes, more will be revealed when it is appropriate, at the time that it is appropriate. And yes, there is a spiritual parallel here of opening yourself to become comfortable with what is unknown and seemingly different.
Okay, and three more questions. One is from Latrim Lover. I am living in Europe. Do you see food shortages becoming a problem in this year or next year?
No.
Thank you.
Food shortages are not going to be a problem in Europe. Food shortages are presently a problem in Africa. Maybe some of you want to do something about that instead of fearing nonsense. That's what we will say to all of you.
Jennifer White is asking, can people have a conversation with their higher consciousness utilizing reverse speech recordings?
Utilizing what speech recordings?
Reverse speech recordings.
If you're excited about this permission slip, play with it, because your excitement won't mislead you. Exactly what you will experience, we can't tell you. Is this going to be something that will be helpful for most people? Not necessarily, but if you're excited to it, you are excited about it for a reason. So explore and see what might happen for you.
Okay, and last question from Lucas Gabriel. How can I help out on Gaia during this heat wave in the United States today?
By being an embodiment of the energy of water that is cooling. So water energy, that is the element that is most out of balance in your world. And water is representing your emotions. It is representing your feelings. It is representing your softness and your desires. Can you get in touch with this water element? Can you soften into it? Can you allow yourself to be more connected with what you're feeling and desiring, and transform your negative beliefs that hold back your desires? This will be very supportive for all of you. By getting more in touch with your emotions and your feelings, you will cool down. By getting more in touch with your emotions and your feelings, you soothe the anger and the fire. This excess fire is sort of an excess desire for self-ish intentions, you could say. Fire has a very ambitious energy. Fire doesn't care what it burns through to get what it seeks. And your world is constructed in so many ways to uphold and support this fire energy in all of you. So if you want to be a remedy to the heat, both literally and metaphorically, embody the energy of the water.
Okay, now that was all written questions.
All right, we thank all of you. So let us conclude with final meditation then. Closing your eyes. Sitting up nice and tall with your spine. Bring your awareness into your heart center. Feeling it from your heart, brilliant roots of light that go down through your body, stretching to the base of your spine, stretching to the soles of your feet, and going into the earth. See these roots of energy travel down and travel down, all the way to the center core of the earth. Feel them wrapping around the solid core of the planet and pulling up energy from this place that slowly fills your body. Feel it rising up from your feet, through your ankles, legs, passing through your knees and up through your thighs, then gradually rising up your torso and chest, in through your head, the very crown. Crown of your head, see a wondrous thread of light that goes all the way up to the galactic center. Allow the thread to expand around your body and become a great chamber. Go through this thread of light all the way up to the galactic center. And feel and visualize a great shower of clear light that flows from the galactic center into the crown of your head and flows through your entire body, allowing this waterfall of energy to wash through every cell, feeling your whole body glowing, the brilliant and powerful light. And now, visualize yourself in a wonderful red rock desert environment. Around you are wonderful clouds, up in the sky, light falling down. The rock formations, you can see many shapes. There's shrubs and cactuses in this red and comforting place. Walk through this environment. Until you find an opening in the ground. It takes you into a deep cavern. Walk through this cavern. It becomes a little bit dark, but it opens up into a place where there's an opening at the top that allows some shafts of light to fall in. You find a quiet place to sit down there. And in that opening, there's a crystal. Crystal is wonderfully clear, and you gaze into it. And as you gaze into it, images of the most beloved people in your life start to appear, one by one. These images come up. Pay attention to the feeling in your heart. The crystal keeps presenting to you more and more images. Images of people that inspire you, who have helped you in incredible ways. Images of your teachers, your leaders. Pay attention to your love and how witnessing these connections feels in your heart. Crystal shows you phantoms of those people who have been your biggest idols, so to speak. Those potentially famous artists and guides you might not have met, yet have nonetheless opened your heart in some way. Pay attention to how this connection feels. This crystal is perhaps the crystal of equanimity. And so now the crystal will test you to keep that same feeling in your heart. Well, the crystal now starts to show you images of those who have challenged you the most. Remember, all is one, and all is of the same source energy. To walk in oneness means to have that same love and compassion. Send this energy that came into your heart from the crystal back into the crystal. As you see those who might have hurt you, those who might have used you, those who might have betrayed you. Allow this crystal to be a healer. As you send love, perhaps also some of the energy of your own fears and resentments comes up. But in this environment, the crystal purifies these energies as you reach for love. See now those leaders and influencers in your world that you know bring about a horrible influence, those who trigger you, who upset you. And again, keep sending them this energy of love. Keep sending them this energy of compassion. And feel how this crystal and this cave creates a space for any of your fears, for any of your disbelief, for any of your anger to be held in a safe way, to be fuel for love, not an obstacle to love. And see, finally, the crystal becomes container for the whole world. The entire globe is encased in the crystal. In this holographic universe, the entire thing is contained within every atom. And so any of that emotional resentment, fear, and anger within you, or any part of the universe, affects the whole universe. Knowing this, allow the universe to help you return to your own equanimous place of love. Beaming love from your heart out to all beings, to those who inspire you and those who trigger you equally. This level of love will be impossible for your world to not open to greater unknowns. And by accepting and embracing the unknown, you hurl yourself into these higher frequency energies. Embrace yourself in the process, open yourself in the process. And now allow the crystal to be a channel for love back into your heart. See brilliant beams of energy flow from this crystal and move into your own heart. Giving thanks for the space, giving thanks for this process. Breathing into your body and gradually opening your eyes and returning to the world around you. We thank you very much for allowing us to meet you and interact in this way today. And we thank you for participating in this process. Your world is undergoing great upgrades, and you are both the maintenance team and the recipients of the upgrades. So, understand your roles and enjoy them. For the love you bring to yourself and others will continue to be amplified, just as this crystal amplifies all of the images you send. I love you and wish you a fantastic rest of your day.
Thank you, Dante.
Thank you. It was epic.
Woo.
Was the transmission today? You said it was epic.
Your mic is a little bit funny.
Is it that way?
No, it's kind of muffled.
Really?
It just at the very end it started to get muffled.
Oh, anyway, so yeah, I sent in Zoom my information for donations if you feel like sharing. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm also going to be. There's a challenge that is almost totally finished. I'd be very happy to release it soon. I was talking to somebody that the astrology that would be better to release it. Just gonna finish it and see it. I won't share too much until all of that is settled. So I'd be excited anyway. In the meantime, you haven't already got the guidance. Look at that. I'm available for sessions. That is on the second.com. You can subscribe to the email list as well and stay tuned. Okay, those are all the things I need to say. Yeah, how's everybody doing? How'd you enjoy this transmission?
I don't know if it's just me, but your microphone's still a little bit muffled.
Oh, I don't know. I can just put the headphones in. I don't know what happened to it. What was this? In the group today and just saw some. Oh, is it still muffled now, even with this?
Now it's fine.
Oh, it's perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah, I saw some new. Okay, great. Yeah, heard some new voices and saw some new names. So thanks for joining the new folks. And yeah, great to have other people becoming a part of these streams.
Yeah. So sorry, Dante, what were you saying?
What was it?
Like a little bit early. Did you say there's new stuff coming out or?
Oh, okay. Okay. So none of that was heard. Yeah, I finished I'm finishing up another channeled book, and that will probably, so I was thinking of releasing it very soon, but then looking at the astrology, I was like, maybe it's going to be better for the book to come out in October after all of this retrograde things are finished. So anyway, in the next couple of months or soon it will be released, and I'm pretty excited for you to get your hands on it. But in the meantime, there's also the guidebook to Living Love on Earth that's already available and pretty encompassing. But beyond that, I'm just doing the private channeling sessions and astrology readings and coaching sessions. The channeling course that is enrolled now is got, another month or so in it. So the next one will begin once people have signed up, essentially. I just need 4 students, and then I run the channeling course. So at this pace, it's a very ongoing process of enrolling people. Whenever they're signed up, we'll do it. So if you want to learn how to do channeling and intuitive energy healing and many other processes, all of the information on my course is also on dantethresshine.com.
And what the book is going to be about?
So the book it's about channeling your innate value. It's about you. I mean, you already got that information, right? But it's that, but there's a lot more information out onto it. I've been kind of compiling other channelings and stuff that I've been doing in personal groups. So it's just about how our world is going to transform in these times with AI and so many other things influencing the trend. We're going into a world in which work and money and all of these things look very different. And it's especially for people who are challenged by these current structures and want to live a more abundant life that's on their own terms. It's giving you the tools and helping you to deconstruct your beliefs so that you can confidently step forward into doing that, essentially, is what this book is about.
Congratulations, that's exciting.
Yeah.
But that's really soon. That happened so fast, Dante.
Oh, the book
Yeah.
came out over a year.
No, but
I mean, what was that?
the second one that's coming out, that happened fast.
Oh yeah. Kind of. I mean, we actually started it in last September.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's been, just little bits of work on it gradually over time versus the one before, which is like, let's just plow into this and plow through it. And that was kind of overwhelming. So I think somebody wrote on my website, it says also Dante Singh. Yeah, so do I have any Sikh affiliation? I was involved in Kundalini yoga for a number of years. That was one of the first things that came on my spiritual path. I used that name Singh at points. I don't have any connection to Kundalini yoga or Sikhism at this point, but it still is apparently on my website. So anyway, I guess I'll change that. But I mean, I'm still very much into yoga and qigong, doing both of them bit by bit. Yeah, but Kundalini yoga, no, we don't do that anymore. Sikhism was a very interesting influence though. How did you get into channeling? There's an entire video if you go onto my YouTube page. It's the first video at the very top. That is my personal story of channeling and spiritual unfoldment. And it's all in there essentially, but I had like psychic teachers and many experiences and plant medicines. And as I was, guiding the classes and workshops and healing sessions I was already doing, I got acquainted with voices in my head that would give me information. And as I inquired more about those voices, they presented themselves as my guides who I could channel, essentially. Didn't see all those messages. Where did they go?
In a case of pre-release, I'm interested.
What was that?
If you are going to do any kind of pre-release, I'm happy to participate.
Okay. Yeah, I'll consider that. I'll consider that. Yeah, we'll talk. Okay, anybody else have anything they want to say or share?
Thank you again, Dante. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Carol. Appreciate you too.
See you later. Ciao, ciao.
Adios. Do I know anything from Den about the higher heart chakra? So the higher heart chakra, from what I was taught and understand, is that's about universal compassion, and it's like the Christ consciousness. It connects us with the unconditional love of all beings, right? It's where that sort of source energy within us kind of shines out as a beacon to others. So does that connect you with all of the ascended masters, in the sense that all of those ascended masters were also operating from that energy and from that vibration? Then yeah. But you can feel this higher heart opening when you're really tapped into that pure unconditional love. Okay. Welcome. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna close it for now, and thanks again for watching, and I appreciate the support and donations for anyone who may share that. And I look forward to get to know you more. If you book me for personal sessions, we can dive a lot deeper. Hope you have a really beautiful day, and yeah, peace, love, blessings, and everything